I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunk. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started on the No Half Step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you've been educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall arts, bed sets, or 85 more items that we've got in our online store, the easiest way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades Puck. You can still find us on X, you can find us on Threads, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and also TikTok, so please jump in the trenches and like or subscribe to or whatever it is on social media, whatever it is your preferred platform. It doesn't take you but a second, doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps the Renegades of Puck out tremendously. YouTube, thank you so much. Stick taps, love, and respect to all of our recent subscribers. We could always use some more subscribers in the trenches over there on our YouTube channel. Catch the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV. Also, all of our full game recaps, our previews, interview segments, and so much more. We're over there on our YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck on YouTube and hit that subscribe button today. You can also find the audio podcast thanks to the Full Press NHL Network. You can find the Full Press Predators podcast on numerous platforms. Whatever it is you prefer, whether that's Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, or others, just search out the Renegades of Puck today, and you will find the audio version of the podcast. Stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who is helping make the show a success in 2024. We have continued that momentum from 2023 on into the new year and right on into March. So we are extremely appreciative of everybody out there for listening to the show. Again, stick taps, love, and respect. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially. You can make a donation by scanning the QR code that's currently on your screen, or just going to Venmo and searching out Renegades of Puck. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this independent operation, so if you can spare it, we sure could use it. Another 35-degree morning here in the bunker, and the space heater simply not keeping up. I know, winter is basically finished and done, but now we're going to be dealing with extreme heat. So it's the up and down of the temperatures and the climates that's having an effect on the human hosting the show and also the equipment that is out here in the studio. So we've got to do something to make sure we balance that out just a little bit. That's Venmo. Scan the QR code. Help us out if you can. We sure would appreciate it. Now, listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 885. That's right. Time for show number 885. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division. After 66 games, they have a record of 37-25-4. 78 points has the Nashville Predators, 7 points out of an automatic qualifying playoff spot, 11 points out of first in the Central Division, and currently sitting securely in a wild card spot. Update on all of the standings coming up here momentarily. On the road, which is where the next game will take place for the Nashville Predators. They have a record of 19-10-3. Preds have scored 211 goals in the season. They've given up 201 against. That means they have a goal differential of plus 10. Now, let's update you on the Central Division and wild card standings. The Dallas Stars are in first place in the Central Division with 89 points. They've skated in 66 games on the season. That's the most out of any teams in the three-team weave here at the top of the division. The Winnipeg Jets are in second place with 85 points. The Colorado Avalanche in third place with 85 points as well. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators at 78 points in fourth place. The Minnesota Wild in fifth with 69 points. St. Louis has 67 points in sixth place. And the Arizona Coyotes at 57 points in seventh place. And the Chicago Blackhawks, the first team in the Central Division to have the little E appear next to them. So you know it's just about time to plant your flowers and get out back and cut the grass, because the Blackhawks have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Nashville Predators in the wild card race, which is more significant information right now than perhaps the divisional race, but I find it fascinating. The Preds are only 7 points behind the third place and second place teams in the division. The Predators are in the first wild card position with 78 points. The Vegas Golden Knights are behind the Preds with 75 points, 3 points behind the Preds on the outside looking in. The Minnesota Wild at 69 points and the Seattle Kraken at 67 points are the two teams closest in the race, but the Predators still hold a nice 9-point cushion over a playoff spot at this moment in time. Once the Nashville Predators wrap up this next game, which will be in Winnipeg, it'll be game 3 of a 4-game road trip. The fourth game will take place Saturday in Seattle, and then the Predators will come on back home home next Tuesday, face off against the San Jose Sharks. On the 21st of March in Florida, take on the Panthers. That's going to be an incredibly difficult game. On the 23rd of March, Detroit comes to Nashville. On the 26th of March, Vegas comes to Nashville. Nashville Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights, yeah, they've met a few times. But the Winnipeg Jets, they've met 2 times already this season, a third of 4 regular season meetings between these Central Division rivals. Let's go all the way back to November. That's when they met 2 times, the only 2 times they played so far this season. So these teams are dramatically different than when they met early in the season. 11-9, it was the Nashville Predators falling in Winnipeg 6-3. UC Saros took the loss. 31 out of 36. Philip Forsberg scored 2 goals for the Nashville Predators. Brossoit picked up the victory for Winnipeg, 20 out of 23, and Connor did the damage, scoring 3 goals and picking up an assist for 4 total points in that game. Now, when Winnipeg Jets came to Nashville, it was the Predators scoring the 3-2 victory at Bridgestone Arena. UC Saros again getting the start, this time picking up the victory, 32 out of 34. Nyquist, Trennan, and Yossi with the goals in that game. Brossoit also picked up the loss in this one, so got the start for a second time against Nashville Predators, going 23 out of 26. Perfetti and Morrissey picked up the goals for Winnipeg. They will meet one more time. It'll happen on April the 9th when Nashville will take on Winnipeg at Bridgestone Arena one last time right there at the end of the season. That is going to be some critically important points for both these teams. Speaking of points, Preds are 1-1 against Winnipeg so far this season. They've picked up 2 out of 4 possible points, and they've been outscored 8-6. When it comes to the Winnipeg Jets, they have a record of 40-18-5, 85 points, has them sitting second place in the Central Division, 4 points behind the Dallas Stars with 3 games in hand. The Winnipeg Jets have been holding on to those games in hand just for the right moment here down the stretch. On home ice, the Winnipeg Jets, impressive, 21-8-2. They've scored 193 on the season. They've given up 153. They have a goal differential of plus 40. Now, when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets in their most recent action, stretch of 5. Let's talk about March, the second, a 5-3 win at the Calgary Flames. On the 3rd, a 5-2 win at Buffalo. On the 5th of March, it was a 4-3 loss versus Seattle, and back-to-back Seattle situation. On the 8th, a 3-0 win at Seattle, so lost on home ice and won at Seattle. And then most recently, on the 9th of March, a 5-0 loss at Vancouver. They will play Monday versus Washington before the Preds and the Jets will meet on Wednesday, so we'll update this space before that game. When it comes to the matchup and the rankings between these two teams, in the goals for category is impressive, as the Winnipeg Jets are in second place with 85 points. Their goal production is not that impressive on the season. 3.06 is a decent number, but it's 19th overall in the NHL. The Predators are ahead of Winnipeg in goals per game. 3.17 goals per game is 15th in the NHL. This is where the Winnipeg Jets make up for that offensive deficiency in the goals against category. 2.41, highly impressive, second best in the National Hockey League, while the National Predators 3.05 goals against per game is 16th in the NHL. Shots for Winnipeg generating 30.8 per game, that's 17th. The Preds generating 31.3, that's 12th overall in the shots against category. Again, keeping teams to a low goal total. You have to figure they keep them to a low shot total as well, and that's exactly what Winnipeg does. 29.3 shots against per game is 8th best in the NHL. So goals against second, shots against 8th, 2 top 10 metrics for Winnipeg. Shots against for Nashville, 30.4 per game is 20th. When it comes to the special teams, kind of surprising here, but the Nashville Predators, again, power play is better because the Jets just do not score as many goals as you would think for a team as successful as they are. They are defense and goaltending-minded team first. 20.2% of the Nashville Predators conversion rate in the season is 19th overall. 45 scores on 223 power play opportunities. The Winnipeg Jets are converting at 17.9% of the season on their power play, 24th overall in the NHL. 33 conversions on 184 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, Winnipeg 1 spot ahead of the Nashville Predators. Better way to say it. 76.8% kill rate, 41 power play goals against, 23rd overall in the NHL, 24th overall in the NHL for the Nashville Predators, but 47 power play goals against, 76.7% is their kill rate. When it comes to individual scores, we always like to talk about the top 5, and then we talk about the goaltending matchup, and let's start with the home Winnipeg Jets. Scheifele's at 19 goals and 37 assists for 56 points. Morrissey at 8 and 44 for 52. Connor 26 and 18 for 44. 44. 3 of his 26 came against this Nashville Predators team. Ehlers at 19 and 25 for 44. Nino Niederreiter, 18 goals, 15 assists for 33 points, 5th overall on the Winnipeg Jets in scoring. When it comes to the other side of the ledger, the visiting team, the Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg has led the team in scoring the majority of the season. He continues to do so, also continues averaging above a point per game pace. 33 goals in the season, 35 assists, 68 points. Overall, the captain, Roman Josi's at 15 goals and 48 assists for 63 points. Ryan O'Reilly's at 24 goals and 32 assists for 56 points. Gus Nyquist, 17 goals and 39 assists for 56 points. Tommy Novak, 5th overall in the team in scoring with 13 goals, 24 assists for 37 points. Anticipated goaltending matchup, and it is a big one. Connor Hellebuck, all-time against the Nashville Predators, one of their nemesis. 29, 14, and 3 on the season this year. A .921 save percentage, 2.35 goals against average with 3 shutouts on the season. UC Saros playing the part of Pekka Rinne now in the rivalry, as Rinne went up against Hellebuck for so many years. Now Saros going up against Hellebuck in the Central Division. UC Saros' record, 27, 21, and 4. A .907 save percentage, a 2.85 goals against average. He's got 2 shutouts on the season. This is an incredibly important pivotal game in the Central Division for the Nashville Predators. It's a measuring stick type of night. The Preds have a decent cushion when it comes to a playoff spot in the wild card, but this is the type of game the Predators need to be tested in and need to prove that they can play as hard as they have against some of these lesser teams, against a team that is better than them in the standings and a team that is definitely has aspirations after adding at the trade deadline of making a run all the way to a Stanley Cup. That's going to do it for the preview segment. We've got you all set up for the Nashville Predators at the Winnipeg Jets. We've got to go back and talk about the Preds' last stop on this road trip. It was in Minnesota. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. Go all the way back to March 10th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Minnesota, face off the Wild and close out the regular season series against their Central Division rivals. Your lines and defensive combinations, as deployed by head coach Andrew Burnett, are as follows: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Mobilier, Sissons, and Zucker, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 39 seconds into the game, and it's Fleury coming with a save on McDonough, the first shot on goal of the game for either of these teams. We go to 2 minutes later at the 2:32 mark, and it's Fleury coming with another save, this time on Jankowski at the 2:52 mark of the first period. It's UC Saros coming up with his first save of the game on Bogosian. And then at the 2:57 mark, we get our first fisticuffs of the game. Yes, I did say first. McCarron and Foligno off the box, 5 minutes each. This was a good heavyweight tilt. It went on for quite some time. Foligno got the best of McCarron overall by the end of this thing. 5 minutes apiece, no effect on manpower. 3:16 into the first period. It's Brodin with his 7th goal of the season, breaking through on the scoreboard, giving the Minnesota Wild a 1-0 lead. 2 Minnesota players in the blue paint, felt like at least one of them perhaps preventing UC Saros from making the save, but the referees did not feel that way, and the Nashville Predators did not challenge to make it that way. So the puck goes into the net, and the Minnesota Wild take a 1-0 lead here on home ice in the first period. We're 3:36 into the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Hartman, plus the follow-up by Rossi at the 4:45 mark of the first period. It's Fleury coming up with a save on Novak at 5:07 of the first. Fleury comes up with a save on Novak's deflection. Tommy Novak, all he's doing is making plays out there. At the 6:17 mark of the first period, it's Marc-Andre Fleury coming with a save on Gustav Nyquist. And then at the 6:21 mark of the first period, we find our first special teams scenario of the game. Favors off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Fleury comes up with a save on Nyquist. Then Fleury comes up with a save on Yossi. We go back to 5-on-5 hockey, and at the 9-minute mark of the first period, it's Mark Jankowski breaking through for the Nashville Predators, tying the game at 1 apiece with his 3rd goal of the season. Incredibly hard forecheck by the Nashville Predators, forces the turnover. Sherwood sets it up from below the goal line. Jankowski in a perfect spot in the slot area, gets rewarded for going to the hard area, gets his 3rd goal of the season. The Preds tied the game at 1 apiece. 9:56 in the first period, Sherwood versus Shaw. 5 minutes each. Not much to this fight. Just a lot of talk about the extra glove that Sherwood wears underneath his regular hockey glove because of the skin condition that he deals with. 13:03 of the first period. Fleury comes with a save on Luke Evangelista's backhand. 13:17 in the first. Saros comes with a save on Kaprizov's partial breakaway. Good scoring chance for Minnesota right here. 14:38 of the first period. You see Saros comes with a save on Letary at 16:40 of the first period. Saros comes with a save on Rossi. 17:09. Saros another save on Beckman. In 18:32, Fleury comes with a save on McCarron at close range. We hit the end of the first period, tied at 1 apiece. Highly eventful first period. 11 shots on goal for each team. 2 fights in the game so far. 1 power play going to the Nashville Predators. At 1:37 of the second period now, Fleury comes with a save on Nyquist at 3:56 of the second period. It's Luke Evangelista scoring his 14th goal of the season. Listen, this was an incredibly fortunate pinball scenario where the puck ended up bouncing at the end of all of these bounces right to Luke Evangelista for the finish. The Predators jump back on top now 2-1 in this game. At 3:59 of the second period, Fleury coming with a save on Sherwood. This was an incredibly strong save by the veteran goaltender, kicking out the left skate and coming up with the save at the 4:43 mark of the second period. Fleury coming up with the save on Forsberg at 8:49 of the second period. So a few minutes between shots on goal right here. Saros comes with a save on Eriksson. As a matter of fact, that was the first shot on goal for Minnesota in the second period. At the 9:49 mark of the second period, it's Fleury coming up with a save on Nyquist at 10:10 of the second period. Saros coming up with a save on Beckman. 11:30. Fleury back to work, coming with 7. The captain, Romagnosi, 12:27. Saros now back to work as the goaltenders exchange saves here throughout the middle portion of the game. This time a save on Merrill at the 14-minute mark of the second period. It's Marc-Andre Fleury coming with a save on the captain, Romagnosi. Again, 12 seconds later, Fleury a save on Zucker for the Nashville Predators. 14:49. High event moment here in the second period. Saros back to work. This time a save on Faber. At the 17:05 mark of the second period, it is Marc-Andre Fleury coming with a save on Jeremy Lauzon. 17:26 of the second, we find O'Reilly off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. This play took place in the neutral zone. It was a big hit, but it was late, and the puck was well gone by this point. So O'Reilly in the box, deservedly so. Kaprizov puts the puck into the net for the Minnesota Wild, his 31st goal of the season. It was more of a scenario where Luke Schenn kind of kicked the puck into the net. Saros had come up with multiple saves to start the sequence. Kaprizov had actually missed a wide open net on the earlier part of the sequence, and then the puck off of Schenn's skate as he's spinning around and into the net. That makes it 2-2 here in the second period. Power play goal for the Minnesota Wild. We hit the 18:56 mark of the second period, and you see Saros coming with a save on Gaudreau, and that'll do it for the second period. Nashville out shooting Minnesota 21-19, but we're tied at 2 apiece. We go to the third period. We're 1:05 into the third, and it's Saros coming with a save on Middleton at the 2:21 mark of the third period. It is Colton Sissons off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. You see Saros going to have to come with a big save on Matt Zuccarello. Then Saros also going to have to come with a save on Foligno, but the PK would bend, not break in this scenario in the tie game in the third period. The 4:19 mark, back to 5-on-5 hockey now. Fleury comes up with a save on Cole Smith at 4:29. Saros comes with a save on Gaudreau. So within 10 seconds, the teams exchanging chances in this end-to-end sequence here in the third period. At the 6:04 mark of the third period, Fleury coming with a save on Gus Nyquist. At 7:26 mark, Saros comes up with a save on Middleton. At the 8:54 mark of the third period, you see Saros coming up with the save on Shaw. 10:57, it's Fleury coming up with a save on Forsberg's backhand. But then at 12:28, just past the halfway point of the third period, Hartman breaks the tie with his 16th goal of the season, putting Minnesota up 3-2. It was Beauvillier, the new acquisition for the Nashville Predators, playing in only his second game with the absolute most brutal turnover that you're perhaps going to see. Perhaps the shot that hit him in the back of the head yesterday perhaps did something. It was possibly the worst turnover you're going to see in the neutral zone. It was a lateral pass across the ice, picked off by Ryan Hartman, who takes it in for a breakaway and finishes on the backhand Hartman's 16th goal of the season gives the Minnesota Wild a 3-2 lead here in the third period. We go to 13-16 of the third period. Fleury comes up with a save on Luke Evangelista. And then at the 14-17 mark of the third period, Saros comes up with a save on Boldy. 16-15 of the third period, it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Brodin. And then Eriksson Ek is picking up a penalty 2 minutes for holding against Forsberg. Now, Forsberg had a similar dogging of the puck type situation earlier, did not get called. This time, Eriksson Ek does get called. So I understand some of the disagreement by the crowd there in Minnesota, but it is deemed to be a power play for the Nashville Predators, and it is Ryan O'Reilly going to work on the power play. His 24th goal of the season ties this game up at 3 apiece. It was O'Reilly with the big wrist shot off the outside of the screen that was set there by Evangelista. Evangelista with the old Victor Arvidsson jump screen, and then a little hop to celebrate as well, as he should. The Nashville Predators tie this game up at 3 apiece on O'Reilly's 24th. They were about to have the extra attack run. They were already on the power play. They were about to have the extra attack run. UC Saros was headed towards the bench. All it ended up being was kind of a fun optic where UC Saros gets to celebrate as the puck goes in the net just as he's arriving at the bench. Anyway, 3-3 hockey game here, and that'll take us to the end of regulation. Both teams trying to protect that point over the final minute or so of the third period. Shots on goal at the end of regulation. The Minnesota Wild outshoot the Nashville Predators 32-29 over 60 minutes of hockey. We go to the 3-on-3 overtime, and we find ourselves at 2:08 of OT when Philip Forsberg walks in from the left side and hits the post. Nashville Predators unable to capitalize right here at 3:03 of the overtime session. Fleury makes a save on Yossi, and at 3:50 with the extra attacker on, that's right, with the 4-on-3 scenario, Boldy scores his 24th goal of the season. One hell of a one-timer. The gamble pays off for John Hynes and Minnesota Wild. They cash in for 2 points, all risk. They went double or nothing on this one by pulling the goaltender in overtime. They scored a 4-3 victory on home ice in OT. They outshoot the Nashville Predators 33-30, but the Nashville Predators do earn a point by scoring late in the third period. 12 straight games with a point now. And again, just to recap how that went down, John Hynes pulls his goaltender, which means he put the point he earned getting to overtime on the line. If the Predators had taken the puck and scored at the empty net, Minnesota would have had that point taken away, and the Predators, of course, would have earned 2 points for the victory. It's a little nuance of the rule that very, very few people knew about before that situation unfolded right there. So Boldy's 24th ended the game in favor of the Minnesota Wild, but the Nashville Predators do pick up 3 out of 4 points on the weekend in the back-to-back. That's going to do it for the Reverse Sports full game recap. We'll be back with so much more analysis, box score, and more on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. This is the full analysis section and opinion section of the show. UC Saros on the second day of back-to-backs. UC Saros gets Star Lankin in the start the previous day. Saros goes 29 out of 33. A tough day, lots of contact, wondering why there was no challenge on the first goal of the game. I thought that Minnesota, especially Boldy in particular, was preventing UC Saros from making a clean save. He was definitely in the blue paint. He was definitely making contact with the goaltender, and it was a curiosity as to why the Nashville Predators did not challenge that. I thought it warranted a challenge, and UC Saros had overall a tough day. Schenn ends up kicking a puck towards the net. It ends up in the net. So overall, a tough day for UC Saros. He does help his team get a point, but again, he faced a lot of contact. Minnesota did something that few teams have done this season, which was really getting into the interior and bumping UC Saros all game long, causing him some distractions and some problems. And overall, for Saros, by far not his best game, losing this one in overtime. But the Preds do get a point in the second day of back-to-backs, taking 3 out of 4 points on the weekend. Jankowski picks up a goal and assist for 2 points in this game. Also, 3 shots on goal. Jankowski still had legs on the second day of back-to-backs. Thought he looked really good out there in his 15:42 in time on ice. Thought he also did a good job on the penalty kill of 1:44 in total time on ice. So Jankowski, 2 points in this game, paces the Nashville Predators. Luke Evangelista picks up another goal on the weekend. He has been red hot as of late. 3 shots on goal as well in this game. And for Luke Evangelista, obviously going to the harder areas and bringing a little bit more jam has led to his game elevating and escalating to a new offensive level. And it's great to see Luke Evangelista competing the way he is out there on the rink. Ryan O'Reilly picks up a goal. It's a power play goal. It's a game-tying goal in a critically important moment as UC Saros is darting towards the bench. Ryan O'Reilly finishes off the play. Already had the extra attacker with the power play. Would have had 2 extra attackers if Saros had completed the change to the bench, but no need because Ryan O'Reilly is cashing in his 24th goal of the season. Is a critically important moment. It earned the Nashville Predators a point after the Beauvillier turnover. This O'Reilly goal to tie the game gets a point, but also bails Beauvillier out because the entire storyline after the game would have been Beauvillier's absolutely the worst turnover of the entire season for the Nashville Predators, leading to the go-ahead goal at the time by Hartman for Minnesota. But O'Reilly comes back on the power play, gets the game-tying goal, his 24th of the season, and the Nashville Predators are able to force overtime before we see that insane scenario in the overtime where John Hines pulls Marc-Andre Fleury as the extra attacker. And, of course, we've already covered it a couple of times. That risks losing the point that was acquired by making it to overtime, but it paid off. The gamble paid off, and the Minnesota Wild moved themselves up 1 slot in the wild card race, but still 6 points behind Vegas at this moment in time. But they did pick up the 2 points, and the gamble absolutely worked, and John Hines pulled one out of the hat right there. That was some risky gambling coaching right there, but again, it paid off. So for the Nashville Predators, they do get the point, but unfortunately in this game, Dante Fabro was injured in the first period. Fabro only skated 3:28 in total time on ice. The Preds had to go 5 defensemen for the bulk of the game on the second day of back-to-backs in a game that was being played quite physical. A couple of fights, a lot of hits, a lot of scrums after the whistles. This was an energy-sucking day against the Nashville Predators for the defense. They had a tough go of it. So we'll get an update on Dante Fabro's injury hopefully in the next 24 hours or so. Nashville Predators do have technically Monday and Tuesday off on this road trip before heading into Winnipeg to face off in an incredibly important game. So we'll see if we get an update on Dante Fabro's injury sometime later today. We'll update that on all of our social media platforms. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of the show. Nashville Predators fall in OT, but they extend their point scoring streak to 12. Impressive stuff by this Nashville Predators team where they went from outside the playoffs looking in to solidly with a cushion in wild card 1 and pushing to at least be in the rearview mirror of the top 3 of the Central Division. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions, and we'll come back with the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. Then we'll close it out. I've got something special for you coming up related to the Nashville Spartans Game 1.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Time for the box score. Your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators: Luke Evangelista, Mark Jankowski. Ryan O'Reilly ties the game up late in the third period. When it comes to assists, it was Philip Forsberg kicking up a point in this game with an assist. Mark Jankowski also had an assist for 2 total points. Tommy Novak picks up an assist because all he does is make plays. Sherwood picked up an assist, had one hell of a game. Sherwood also had a really good scrap in there, had 4 hits in this game, 10-20 total time on ice. Made a lot with his little amount of ice time. Also, Roman Josi picks up another assist for his all-time franchise leading, extending those points. When it comes to shots on goal, it was Gus Nyquist with 5 leading the Nashville Preds, and Romeo had 4. And it was 3 for Mark Jankowski, 3 for Luke Evangelista. Nobody else with more than 2. Block shots, 2 was the magic number in this one. And we have 4 defensemen with 2 block shots each. Dante Fabro in just his .328 of total time on ice, tied for the team lead for the game in block shots with 2. Romeo had 2. McDonough had 2. And Shen also had 2. No surprise to see Luzon on the top of the physical category. 9 hits in this game. That's the most he's had in a while. Again, Minnesota was absolutely looking for a physical afternoon, and they encountered somebody who was willing to go with them. Luzon, 9 hits in this game. Also Shen with 5 hits in this game. Sherwood had 4 hits in this game. Also Sherwood had a fight. McCarron had a fight in this game. When it comes to your time on ice leaders, at the forward position, it was O'Reilly at 20-27, and then Forsberg at 1938, Nyquist at 1934. This is on the second day of back-to-backs, remember. When it comes to the defensemen, because there was only 5D for the majority of the game, the defenseman's ice time is quite skewed. Roman Josi, 27:59, again, on the second day of back-to-backs. McDonough, 26:05. Luzon, 24:34. Carrier, 23:13. The only defenseman under 20 minutes was Luke Shen at 16:54. That was healthy, and I think that's because Shen's been having some defensive issues over the course of this weekend. So we'll see Tyson Barrie more than likely plugged back into the lineup and possibly a call-up depending on how significant or how long-term the injury is to Dante Fabro. When it comes to the special teams, the power play for Nashville Predators was 1 for 2. 2 minutes for Nyquist on the power play time on ice. 1:53 for Forsberg, 1:49 for Luke Evangelista, 2 minutes even for the captain, Roman Josi. The PK for the Preds was also 1 for 2 at 50%. Your PK time on ice leaders, McCarron at 2 minutes, Jankowski at 1:44, and on the defensive side of things, McDonough at 1:41, and Luzon at 1:35. Some other numbers falling out of the box score. Face-off winning percentage, 54.5%, pretty decent for the Nashville Predators. 13 block shots, 30 hits, a very big physical day within the Central Division. 5 takeaways, 8 giveaways for the Nashville Predators in net. UC Stars 29 out of 33, 4 goals against, an in-game save percentage of 8.79, 26 even strength saves, 3 power play saves, and again, a lot of contact for UC Saros in the net. Not much he could do with some of those particular situations. Let's close this out by saying that's a hell of a gamble by John Hines right there with his season on the brink and his team well on the outside, looking up towards the wild card pack, pulls Marc-Andre Fleury and risks it all, gets the extra attacker goal against the Nashville Predators and picks up the 2 points against the Preds. Again, that's something we've not seen, and that revealed a nuance of the rule book that very few people knew about. Now we are all very highly educated about what happens when you pull your goalie in the third period. For the Preds, they did pick up a point, though, 12th game in a row, picking up a point. It's one of the longest streaks in franchise history, and the points right now are the most important thing. It was the second day of back-to-backs, down to 5 defensemen, and frankly, I thought the Nashville Predators weren't nearly as solid or as crisp as they could have been, but they were also pretty gassed there towards the end of this game, and they were still able to get a point. So 12 games in a row with a point for this Nashville Predators team, and if they can continue picking up points, then they will continue having this cushion in the wild card and maybe even putting pressure on the top 3. They'll have an opportunity to put some more pressure on Winnipeg, 7 points behind the Winnipeg Jets at this moment in time. Good stuff coming up in a couple of days. Nashville Predators in Winnipeg. Listen, I want to take you to the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. It was game 1 of the playoffs for the Nashville Spartans, the first ever playoff game in team history, hosting the Toledo Cherokee, the 2-3 matchup, the Spartans being the 2 seed, the Cherokee being the 3 seed in the Great Lakes Division of the USPHL Premier Division. The winner of this best-of-3 series gets a trip to Utica, New York to compete in the single elimination national championship tournament. The Nashville Spartans had history on their home ice. I take you now to the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. We'll close the show with this Nashville Spartans recap and report. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.
I'm Charlie Saunier, voice of the Nashville Spartans, and today a new era begins. Today, it's time for the playoffs to begin at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena as the number 2 seed Nashville Spartans welcome in the number 3 seed Toledo Cherokee. This season, the Spartans went 4-0 against the Cherokee. 2 home wins here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena without giving up a goal. Daniel Duzek 4-0 against the Cherokee this season. It's the divisional round of the USPHL Premier Division playoffs in the Great Lakes Division. and your Nashville Spartans are hosting Game 1 coming up in just mere minutes inside at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Join us as you will see the 13th top scorer in the USPHL Premier for Toledo, Jacob Amar. You will also see the 15th, 16th, and 17th leading scorers in the USPHL Premier in Ronan Keenan, Austin McCallie, and also Kyle Flynn. It's playoff hockey at its finest, USPHL Premier Division, right here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Puck drop in minutes. Swords up. Prepare for glory.
Toledo briefly had a 3-on-2. Lutz will go into the corner against McCallie. McCallie pushes it along the half wall, looking for some help and support. Toledo comes away with the puck. Daniel Duzic with another huge save right there, and there's another big save. Rebound opportunity for Toledo. The first one went wide. The second one, Duzic had to stop. Duzic with another big save right there with the pad. Real has the puck again. He moves across the zone, laterally banks it off the wall, back out to Real. Real looking for the shot, gets a deflection, but it would not go. Daniel Duzic makes the save right there off of the rebound. Duzic being tested early in this game. Real fires from out high. And there's Duzic coming with the save. The Spartans, good job clearing the rebound, but it's Toledo continuing to control the puck. That shot will not go through off some shin pads, but Amar controls it, and he's moving with speed, feeling that the PK unit for Nashville is getting tired. That goes just wide right there. The redirect by Amar at the top of the crease goes just wide of the post. Stacy backhand pass across the blue line. That is onside. Toledo Cherokee looking to go to work in the final seconds of the power play. That shot catches glass. It's going to be the captain, Austin McCallie, picking it up and looking to lead the breakout. 4-on-3 right now. McCallie goes all the way through, looks to drive towards the net, sends it to the slot area, and that puck is fired into the net. It was a trickler into the net for the first playoff goal in Nashville Spartans history. Loose puck in front. Daniel Duzic with the biggest save of the game to this point. That puck seemed to elude multiple sticks of the Nashville Spartans, just sitting there on a tee for Toledo Cherokee, and they got their opportunity and took their swing. Daniel Duzic was there to answer. The captain, Austin McCallie, throws it to the net, and Chris Free chips it in for the power play goal. Spartans lead 2-0. 20 minutes on the clock now, and we will officially start this third period action. Real out of Owensboro gets the puck for the Toledo Cherokee, sends it back to the defense. Now Real looks to get the puck and chip in, kicks it to himself, but could not get the shot off. Good scoring opportunity for Toledo, and that puck will not go, but then they do get the rebound. It is Real putting the puck into the net for the Toledo Cherokee. He was dogged and determined off the puck drop, and 16 seconds later, he puts the puck into the net. The Toledo Cherokee are on the board here in the third period. What an honor. What a tremendous joy it is to be here as a part of this game. It's great. My excitement was difficult to contain all week long, doing media, talking about it, previewing it. Now that we're finally here, it's lived up to the hype in every single way. The 2-3 matchup here in the Great Lakes Division has been an awesome, awesome game. Slashing and roughing are your matching minors right there. Gonzalez tried to play the puck in for Toledo. Spartans turn the puck over. They'll take the puck down. Keenan fires the puck into the net. Ronan Keenan picks the puck off, skates in, and picks the top corner. Spartans with a 3-1 lead, 6 minutes to go. Great effort there by the Spartans to turn the puck over, and then Keenan with an absolute snipe, beating Austin Nowak, who has put up an incredible performance here on the road against the Spartans. That's going to be a goal for the Toledo Cherokee. That's why that insurance goal was ever so important. We're back to a one-goal hockey game. That's going to be Lagelfo skating to the bench first. Spartans get the puck right here. A steal by Karaman. Karaman in. He's got a partial breakaway. Karaman shoots. Puck is stopped with the paddle. And there it is. Keenan scores on the rebound. The third opportunity for the Nashville Spartans goes into the net. 4-2. The Spartans have their insurance back. Keenan's second of the game as he takes flight. And it is going to be the Spartans recovering it. Murray has it, skates it out to the neutral zone, and Murray fires the puck into the empty net. The Spartans take the 5-2 lead here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. 3-goal lead now for the Spartans with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. Spartans continuing possession, dumping the puck back in deep. They'll look to work clock now as the Spartans are 1 minute away from their first ever team playoff victory. That'll give them a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series versus Toledo Cherokee. Game 2 tomorrow, face-off at 1 p.m. here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. 45 seconds to go now in the game. A highly spirited contest, especially in the first period. Temperatures rising through the second into the third. And Toledo scoring 2 goals here in this third period to make this game not only highly interesting, but incredibly dramatic as the eyes of the USPHL are watching this series, knowing that one really good team is not going to have the opportunity to advance to Utica. Myler plays the puck in the final 15 seconds. Spartans, Hartz chips it off of the wall. Spartans just look and go ahead and run out the clock now as we're under 10 seconds to go. We'll listen in here for the final seconds. And that's going to do it for Game 1 of this 3-game series. The Nashville Spartans with an opportunity to win the series tomorrow here on home ice, sweep the Toledo Cherokee, and get on that bus to Utica for an opportunity to compete for a national championship. Nashville Spartans victorious tonight at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena, 5-2 over the Toledo Cherokee. Teams will now make their way off of the rink because we're only in Game 1 of a playoff series, and Game 2 is coming up in just a matter of hours. We'll go ahead and make sure we stay a good buffer zone between these two teams and allow Toledo to make their way off the rink and back to their locker room. And then we'll allow the Nashville Spartans to come together at center ice as they have been doing all season long. Thank you so much for joining us for playoff action, the first ever playoff game in Nashville Spartans history. Spartans are victorious. We're back at it tomorrow. Good night from Nashville.